The sun is out and shining brightly here in downtown St. Louis. Close to 40,000 expected as the Cardinals look for a sweep over the Atlanta Braves. Braves really struggling at 8-13. Cardinals the most wins in the NL with 14. Why are they going for the sweep? Well, let's take you back to Monday. Late in that ball game, ground rule double. That would score Albert Pujols. Cardinals win it 4-3. That was off the bat of Molina. Then Tuesday night, very good starting pitching from Carpenter. Bullpen was solid, and Ryan Ludwig would go deep. Last night, speaking of starting pitching, how about Jaime Garcia? His ERA has dropped now to 1.04. He was terrific in the victory for St. Louis. Welcome to Cardinals Baseball with my partner Al Raboski. I'm Dan McLaughlin. Cardinals playing red-hot baseball right now, and in this series, they really have dominated the Braves.
They've dominated, and it all starts with starting pitching. Look at how the Cardinals starters have just been outstanding, but you could say the bullpen has too when you've won the first 3 games. 15-7 in runs. Look at the home runs. Cardinals have only hit 2, but Atlanta none. If you keep the ball in the ballpark and you walk very few, you've got a very good chance to win, and that's what the Cardinals have been doing. But it is extremely tough to sweep a 4-game series.
Cardinals have had this position before this year, a chance for a series sweep. These were all, though, 3-game sweeps potentially. That was the first series that the Cardinals played in against Cincinnati. Johnny Gomes with a walk-off homer. Then on the 11th of April, a Sunday night, Casey McGee walk-off home run for the Milwaukee Brewers. And then most recently for the St. Louis Cardinals, back on April 15th, Bud Norris with 5 strong innings and a bunch of strikeouts. And Houston avoided the sweep and also picked up their first victory of the season. They call it a kid's game, the game of baseball, but also for Jair Jurgens and Adam Wainwright and even Joe Mather. How about rock, paper, scissors? Pitching matchup next. For a sweep over the Braves. Atlanta and St. Louis in Game 4. Let's take a look at the pitching matchup. Jair Jurgens, a right-hander for the Atlanta Braves.
Primarily a fastball pitcher, he does have a very good changeup. He used to like his slider more than the change. but still you have to be ready for that first pitch fastball.
And you could say it's a co-ace going for the Cardinals this afternoon. That's Adam Wainwright.
What a great start Adam's off to. 3-1, a rare loss his last time out in April, but you look for the winning ways again and a great ERA, 1.69.
So Wainwright, Jurgens, Cardinals, Braves, Game 4 coming up. A gorgeous afternoon here in St. Louis. It's been all fun and games for the Redbirds with 14 wins this year. Yadi Molina in the lineup. And so is the rookie, Jason Hayward. Mark McGuire's seen his offense take off. And it's time to tee it up against the Braves. Baseball is next. Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by Budweiser with full flavor and a crisp, clean finish. It's what we do. By Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers, #1 for quality tires and expert auto service. By Steak and Shake, life needs flavor. And by Chevy's Expert Auto Service. See your Mid-America Chevy dealers or shop and compare at stlchevy.com. What a gorgeous afternoon. Along with Al Raboski, I'm Dan McLaughlin. It's Cardinals baseball. The Cardinals looking for a 4-game sweep over the Braves. And this would be the first time they would do this in St. Louis since 1989. As Yadi Molina is waiting for the bell. And we get you set for baseball today. A little different lineup for Tony La Russa, as Albert Pujols will get a day off, at least initially. But what a big bullet that would be off your bench late.
Yeah, but you've got to give him a day off sometime. Rarely does it happen here at home, but why not do it after you've won 3 of the first 4?
Melky Cabrera, Yunel Escobar, Martin Prado, Here in the first, the cleanup man is Brian McCann. Eric Hinsky his first start. Omar Infante as well. Jason Hayward had the night off yesterday, back in there today. Nate McLeod, the former Pirate, and Jair Jurgens is the pitcher batting ninth. That's your Southwest Airlines starting lineup. And this guy has been terrific. Yet again, our Marshall Wireless Sprint starter, and that's Adam Wainwright. He's got back-to-back complete games under his belt.
Sure does, and that good ERA, 1.69, 3-1 on the start. He had won 8 straight April starts before losing his last time out, and he's never lost to the Atlanta Braves. 4-0 and is dominated against them.
There's a look at Albert Pujols, who is on the bench today, and it is a rare day off here at home. Normally you never see that here in St. Louis.
Right, and I think that he has to get rest and maybe a little mental rest more than the physical part. So Joe Mather will get a shot to take over first base.
So let's take a look at the Cardinals defense this afternoon. Behind Wainwright with Holiday, Rasmus, Ludwig in the outfield. Freeze, Green, Schumacher, and Mather along the infield. And the battery today, Adam Wainwright and Yadier Molina. Some of the hot dog wrappers have made their way onto the field. It's very windy here in St. Louis. Wind is blowing out to left center field. And Melky Cabrera is in the leadoff spot, the left fielder for Bobby Cox.
Said well in this series, 417, has a 6-game hitting streak.
Very classy move by the Cardinals before the game last night to give a signed photo of Stan the Man to Bobby Cox, and today is his final time in St. Louis as manager of the Braves. Is shallow left field, and Holiday is there. Bobby Cox saying that this year will be it, and right now his team is struggling, 8-13.
As Bobby says, a week or so ago they were in first place. Now they're in last place as they've lost, what, is it 8 in a row?
Yes, sir. Braves had 12 home runs in their first 13 games this year. They have hit none since a 3-homer outburst and a comeback win over the Phillies on the 20th. That's into center field and a base hit for Yunel Escobar. What a nice day here at the ballpark. It's 75 degrees. Martin Prado, who coming into the series was swinging the hottest bat for the Braves, but Cardinals pitching has been very, very good. They've kept him in check.
Prado came in leading the major leagues in batting average. He now ranks 5th in the majors with a 361 average. He is 2 for 14 in this series. 5 for 23 on the road trip.
Tell me, Al, how they kept Martin Prado in check. What have you seen here?
I think they just, gone after him with an assortment of pitches. They haven't done anything unusual. We haven't seen that much of him to think that he is an upper echelon hitter. So I think they've just gone out there and just have a game plan that Dave Duncan has provided for him and attack him.
Jaime Garcia last night lowering his ERA to just above 1, and he is off to a terrific start. In the starting rotation for the Cardinals this year, the 2-0 pitch. Double play ball. Wainwright. Tyler Green. Double play. Perfect lead from Wainwright to Tyler Green, the shortstop, and over to Mather. rolls in following the double play started by Adam Wainwright. Look at the Cardinals lineup presented by Southwest Airlines. Schumacher, Ludwig, Holiday in the first. Colby Rasmus batting cleanup. And then David Freese, Yadier Molina, Joe Mather, Adam Wainwright, the pitcher, batting 8th, and Tyler Green batting 9th against Jair Jurgens, is winless this year with an ERA that's close to 6. Here's Skip Schumacher. He was on base 4 times last night. First pitch, a strike.
And when he first got to the big leagues, and this is Jurgens' 4th season, he's got 3 full seasons under the belt. He threw a lot harder.
Now, he did experience tightness in his shoulder in spring training, but they classified that as a dead arm stage and not an injury. So he's been fighting that a little bit coming into this year.
One of the things to look for is traditionally all the Braves pitchers want to pitch hitters away.
The 0-2. Pitch away and hit to short. 1 out. Brings in Ryan Ludwig with Holiday to follow. A look at the defense for the Braves presented by Dobbs. And the battery today, the Jurgens along with Brian McCann. The Dobbs defense.
And on his last night's starter for Atlanta, Kawakami, the first 3 hitters went up there and hit rocket, particularly the ball that Albert took right back on the mound and almost took off Kawakami's head. Then he changed. Instead of pitching away, he started pitching inside for self-defense. And he had a lot of cutters coming inside, which is a very tough pitch to hit, and the umpire was given that call.
And with Pujols not in lineup, the starting lineup today, it's Matt Holliday batting 3rd, and Holliday has said that's where he would prefer to hit, but you've got Albert Pujols there. So Holliday does get a chance to bat 3rd today and bat in the 1st inning. That's strike 2 as it floats in there for a strike. Jurgens was picked up from Detroit, part of the Edgar Renteria deal. That's one of the good deals Atlanta has made with pitchers. But opposing him today, Adam Wainwright, and that's one they'd love to take back. A high fly ball out to left. Drifting, and caught. We said that the wind is blowing out left center, left field. That just carried up there.
I think the flags are very deceiving because I think the ball kind of swirls and Melky Cabrera surprised, and as you said, drifting back, and really kind of making that little hop, reaching back over his head. Ball kept on drifting on him.
Al, if you look at the flags down the right field line, they are whipping towards left field. One's on the roof, and then Old Glory out there in left center's moving pretty well as you see the flags on the scoreboard. The ones to the right of that on top of the roof are really whipping through. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Ooh, and Holiday is hit by the pitch. Been a struggle so far for Matt Holliday, in particular here at home.
At home, it's just amazing that such a great hitter as Holliday can't get untracked. As most of his damage this year, 353 average, all 4 home runs have all come on the road, right above the elbow. That can't feel good.
Here's Colby Rasmus, off to a very fine start for the Cardinals. Quietly, he's been one of the most productive hitters. He shoots one, left field, base hit. Holiday makes the turnaround second. He'll stop there.
Colby leads the National League in on-base percentage and slugging percentage.
Let's take a look at the box tracks here, brought to you by Southwest Airlines.
And once he starts using the opposite part of the field, he's going to be that much more dangerous. As he gets a base hit out there to the left.
Here's David Freese. Freese, a real big base hit last night with the bases loaded. Kept it just inside the first base line. Cardinals picked up 2, and they rolled to the 6-zip win. Braves in this start with big losing streak, 8-13. All the years that Bobby Cox has been in Atlanta, they are off to the worst start ever under Bobby as their manager.
I wonder what the worst, have to be very early in his career, the first stint managing there, that what the worst losing streak has been during his tenure.
How do you put the losses away? And I know it's a long year and it's easy to say, well, we can go get them tomorrow. We play every night just about. But take, for instance, game 1. They lose 4-3, and you think he's making the right moves, and it doesn't work as Molina picked up the ground rule double and the Cardinals won. How do you let those losses go at night?
Some stick a little longer than others, but
down the right field line, slicing, and it's a home run off the pole in right field. Opposite field home run for David Freese, and his first of the year. The Cardinals lead it 3-0.
Told you, don't worry about it, it'll come. And what a big blow, a 2-out home run, his first one, and then it's a 3-run home run. And how important is it to jump on a team that's struggling? You get an early lead, and that just sends them right to the depths. They just can't come back from it, or hopefully they won't come back with it. And with Wainwright on the mound, you'll think this blast right here is probably enough. But there's a lot of game left.
Here's a ground ball by Molina. Backhanded by the third baseman. Low throw and picked. And nicely done. Molina, the third and final out. Opposite field home run for David Freese. Picks up 3 RBIs. Cardinals on top. Plate. It's going up and down as the wind is whipping through Busch Stadium.
And one of those rare days that you feel like you're at Wrigley Field and you look up to see which way the flags are blowing. But David Freese with his first home run, a big 2-out base hit. 3-run home run has staked Wainwright to a comfortable lead, but he's got 8 more innings to go through.
Brian McCann, Eric Hinsky, Omar Infante. And the first pitch is strike. You just love how Wainwright goes about his business. Aggressive. First pitch strikes. He's got the big curveball. We've talked about it a number of times. Wainwright, the trade from Atlanta to St. Louis. Cardinals gave up Eli Marrero, J.D. Drew in that deal. And J.D. Drew lasted 1 year with the Braves. Then he signed with Boston. There's the curveball and a strikeout, first of the afternoon for Adam Wainwright.
And I remember talking to John Sherholz, because when we went into Atlanta right after the first year of that trade, I said, boy, this is a good trade for both clubs. And he goes, well, we'll see if I don't sign him.
And they did.
Talking about J.D. Drew, he went to the Dodgers, and he got that huge contract from the Dodgers, and I think we were suspect. Medlin is warming up, so you wonder if something's wrong with Jurgens. You touched about that shoulder, maybe it's tightened up.
Catch made by Ludwig. Henske retired. Here's Infante.
Remember, J.D. signed that 5-year, $55 million contract, but he had a clause where he could opt out, and he chose to do so, like after year 3 or something like that, and we all thought he was crazy to do it. And then he got more money from Boston.
Right. Omar Infante. Joe Simpson and Chip Carey with the call on the other side. Here's a 1-0 pitch. And a ground ball hit to second. Schumacher has it. Easy inning. 12 pitches total and 2 innings for Wainwright thus far. Pat and Jim are chatting as we speak at FoxSportsMidwest.com. Cardinals live chat right now. Log on to FoxSportsMidwest.com with Pat and Jim. So pitching change. Jurgens leaves with a hamstring injury, so it's not shoulder. He is out of this game, and it's a reliever in that we've seen already in this series. It's the right-hander, Chris Medlin.
Medlin got to the big leagues last year, and in his rookie season was 3-5, 4.26 ERA in 37 games, 4 starts. So he was a starter at AAA and was 5-0, had an ERA of 1.19 before the promotion last season. And as you said, we've seen him out of the bullpen earlier in this series.
Selected by the Braves, 10th round in 06. And here is Joe Mather, Wainwright, and Green. Again, Tony La Russa using the pitcher batting 8th.
Medlin pitched on Tuesday, 1 inning and 1 strikeout, all zeros.
Now, we haven't seen Nick Stavanoa make a start this year.
No, but he has been the #1 pinch hitter for Tony La Russa, trying to keep him sharp that way. And this is our Chevrolet call to the bullpen.
First pitch to Mather, trying to bunt his way on. And that will be a foul ball.
It's been very difficult for Tony La Russa, who likes to tinker with his lineup, but with all the youngsters on that bench, and I'm thinking Craig and Stabenow and Mather, basically the same guy and same type of hitter. Not a lot of experience, a very tough role for an inexperienced hitter at the major league level, pinch hitting.
0-1 is chopped to short. Long throw. Mather is retired for the first out.
Well, you got to give Mather, and you got to give some of these guys starts. Stabenow hadn't got his yet, but you know, you saw Alan Craig get a couple starts, and then they sent him back to get regular playing time.
Cardinals start play today. 4 games in front of Cincinnati, 4.5 in front of Chicago. Milwaukee and Pittsburgh both 5 out, and Houston is 5.5 out. Atlanta in the cellar of the National League East. Cardinals catching them at the right time. You get the feeling that this is not the team that's going to be like this all year. You know, they're a better team than this.
Yes, they are. Next time we see them will be in September.
It is early. Braves are only 4.5 games out, and New York leads it by a half game. They've won 7 straight. And they're 9-1 in their last 10 are the Mets.
Yeah, when they were here, they didn't look like a very good ball club. And Beltre is still going to be out till at least May. We're almost there. Yeah. We're almost there now, but
so Beltran was out. They were just getting back Reyes. They moved him to third in the lineup. Jerry Manuel did that. They felt that's made a little bit of a difference for them. On 1-2, a couple of hops to short, and Escobar has been busy so far. 2 outs, and it brings in Tyler Green. For every Cardinals win during this homestand against the Braves and Reds, you can take $5 off Loge Box seats for the Nationals and Marlins series May 17th through the 20th. And this could lead to a discount as high as $35, meaning free tickets. Stay tuned and save. The Cards have won 3 straight. Just how high will this discount go?
It's $15 off those tickets right now.
And here's Green, who did not hit all that well this spring, but the Cardinals have been very impressed with his defense. They know he can play the major league level defensively. Just a matter of trying to catch up with his offense.
Well, Tyler is sitting, what, 275 at AAA. Last year, he really struggled. He got sent down, you know, when he was really fighting and striking out almost at such an alarming rate. But he did hit 15 home runs last year at Memphis, and he led all Cardinal minor leaguers last year with 31 stolen bases.
He's from Raleigh, North Carolina, the 30th overall selection in 2005, first-round pick. Came into spring training in great shape. He had put on about 10 to 15 pounds of muscle. 1-2 pitch. Being from where he's at in Carolina, he also grew up, like many kids, rooting for the Braves. It's amazing the amount of players that have come out of that Atlanta area with the 14-year run that Bobby Cox and his club put together. Winning division after division. Nice play. Prado. And Green is retired. So the Cardinals go in order. It'll be Hayward, McLeod, Jurgens coming up. Text poll, U.S. Cellular, who is the next manager in the line in line for the Hall of Fame? Ron Gardenhire, Jim Leyland, Terry Francona. Text your answer. That's presented by U.S. Cellular. What do you think, Al, out of those three?
I was going to say none of the above and say Bobby Cox, but that's good. That's good three. I think we all assume that Bobby Cox, Joe Torre, and Tony La Russa are going to be all Hall of Famers.
And I think the idea of the question was...
I know. I mean, of those three younger guys, that's... boy, you can argue that all three of them, they continue at the pace they're doing, and the teams that they have. In some way, you slide a little bit to Francona because of the payroll he has with Boston.
2-1 is hit into center. Base hit. Jason Hayward has been quiet in this series. But Francona does, though, break the curse for the Boston Red Sox. Media market, and on 2 World Championships with the Red Sox.
That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
You know, it's Gardenhire, what he's done with little payroll. There's now with their new ballpark and paying Joe Mauer what they're paying him. You know, it changes things a little bit.
There's a guy that
I think Jim Leyland kind of loses a little bit what's happened a few times with him, leaving ball clubs.
What though if he wins in 06 and becomes the first manager to win in both leagues? It was between he and Tony.
Sparky Anderson and Tony La Russa have done that.
Right.
So he'd be the third manager.
Yes. Where Sparky did it with Detroit
and Cincinnati.
0-1 pitch.
And it's a good question. I like it.
Here's a guy that wasn't on the list that if you ask a lot of the current players, scouts, GMs, they think he is fantastic. Mike Scioscia.
And I would agree. I know Mike very well. Actually, I roomed with Mike Scioscia in the Dominican Republic.
He's very good.
Yeah, I mean, he was a great player. He wasn't a good hitter, but he was like a Matheny, field general back there, and really manager of those ball clubs. Handled the pitching staff extremely well. Nobody was better at blocking home plate. And he's done a real nice job with the Angels.
2-1 the count on Nate McLeod. Jim Hayes has joined us here in the booth. Hayward a bigger lead this time at first base, and Wainwright senses that and throws over. You see Joe Mather over there, Jim, and he gets the start in place of Albert Pujols.
First big league start at first base. He's played a number of positions. He's had a couple of starts in the outfield for the Cardinals. I asked him if there's any difference about it in terms of defense, and he said he takes ground balls so much at third base it's kind of the same there. I said, what about filling the shoes offensively of Albert Pujols? He said, no one
Good luck.
Can do that. No one.
Joe Mather showing his versatility. First base, third base. And sometimes those guys can play the corner outfield positions, but he can also mix in center field and gives Tony a little insurance.
Can pitch
with Rasmus out there, and he can pitch. Good curveball and a strikeout of Nate McLeod. No argument there. And the second strikeout for Adam Wainwright, Southwest Airlines Fox Tracks.
Good breaking ball out there. The left-handed hitter thinks it's a backdoor breaking ball. You think you give up on it, thinking it's outside. And by the time you slump your shoulders, all of a sudden that ball breaks down and away to the corner.
Here's Chris Medlin in replace of Jurgens, trying to bunt, sacrifice, strike one.
Wainwright cruised for those first 2 innings through 12 pitches.
Kind of just come to expect that anymore, don't we? Now the way that he's been pitching from the time he came up.
Well, when he had to make that start 2 starts ago when the bullpen was depleted after the 20-inning affair, and he knew he had to go deep into a game.
Freeze over to first. Molina covering over at third base.
He said something very interesting. As everyone said, well, you had to go deep into the game. Remember, they got behind, too. And he goes, really, I treat it like no other game. I always assume I have to go deep into a game. And that's the approach. I mean, a lot of guys today think 5 and 5 is acceptable. The old school was, I start the game, I finish the game. And he's looking for his third straight complete game.
Here's Freeze charging. Watch Molina. He goes to cover third. I was talking to John Smoltz about that, and he says it drives him crazy. Now, when he watches pitchers that think they've gone 5 innings and they've done their job, as the leadoff man Cabrera loses his bat.
Well, how many times you see a guy go 5 innings, give up a couple runs, he's tipping his cap, and he's walking off the field?
Well, I know it upsets you. You get fired up over everything, Al.
If the fans want a cap tip, you tip that cap, Al.
No, you don't. You know, I mean,
give the fans what they want, Al.
Fans want the complete game.
Love that. I just remember back to last year where I was getting ready to do a little report next to the Cardinal dugout, and Dave Duncan called me over and explained why Wainwright, they would let him go longer because he didn't warm up as much.
Right. And they really started charting that with Jason Isringhausen, and Marty Mason started counting all the pitches, warm-up tosses out the bullpen by Izzy, and then obviously what happened in the game, and even the warm-up tosses prior to the inning if he came in and began to throw, and it was into the thousands. A lot of wear and tear on the arm, and they changed the way that he used to warm up to come into games.
Is that the same, Al, warming up as to what you throw during a game in terms of wear and tear on the arm?
You know what, to me, the toughest thing is to warm up, say, 2 or 3 times down in the bullpen and not pitch.
And that is ball 4, first walk allowed by Adam Wainwright.
You know, if you get into a game, you kind of blow it out. But if you're warming up 2 or 3 times, you got loose the first time. Now you're backing off. You know, you're going there, you're getting ready again. Now you back off. Now you try to get going again because you think you're coming in. And so you pick up a lot of bad habits because you don't fully extend yourself. Today's, the way they monitor the relief pitchers is so much better. We used to get up, game was tied, even, you know, even tied, 1 run ahead, 1 run behind. At the 7th inning, you had a lefty and a righty warming up. And you did that all the way through the end of the game. And so many times, guys left a lot of it down there in the bullpen. They never counted, you know, how many times you warmed up. Or today, you know, if a guy warms up 2 times and doesn't get it in, they shut him down for the night.
2 balls, no strikes on Yunel Escobar.
Been my experience that the guys in the bullpen don't really enjoy getting called to get loose.
Remember
then
Steve
to take
Klein?
a seat. I didn't want to mention names, Dan.
Well, I mean, that's why. And
he was very demonstrative.
Yes, he was.
Sometimes you have to do it, you know, but they are very, very good at really not getting a guy up just for the sake of getting a guy up. And in the case of Mr. Klein that one time,
it was against the Cubs.
It was a strategy move where, you know, yeah, he was ready if they wouldn't have used a pinch hitter. But it was going to be one of those deals where you'd rather have the right-hander on the mound face the left-handed batter versus bringing in Klein and having to face the right-handed pinch hitter that he would be facing.
All that was lost on Steve.
Yes, that was a little too
And now
deep.
he's a minor league pitching coach.
So, you know, now he understands it, but he didn't then.
Bases could be loaded. Nearly were with a little swinging bunt there by Escobar, but it rolled foul. First and second, 2-2. Got him on the outside corner. Escobar can't believe it. 2 strikeouts in the inning, 3 on the afternoon. Top of the lineup coming up. here we go at the top of the lineup for the Cardinals. Leading 3-0 on a David Freese 3-run homer down the right field line. Schumacher with a fly ball out to center. Nate McLeod there, one pitch, one away.
Skip with the stirrup showing. Today had a big night at the plate last night, so he's going with that again, a la Brendan Ryan. I saw Skip before the game, and I said he was going pant legs down. I said, you got to show the stirrups. He said, wait and see. He was covert about it.
Well, worked last night. 4 times he was on base. Baseball players are superstitious, to say the least, so stay with it if you have success. And here is Ryan Ludwig.
0 for 2. That's your assignment, Jim. Every time he comes to the plate, I want to know where his stirrups are. I may not be able to see it.
If you're superstitious, I think I brought luck to David Freese. Freese promised a young Cardinal fan by the name of Madison, who had a broken collarbone before the game, that he would hit a home run today. Actually, I promised he would hit a home run for him. He was standing there, though, so a promise was made that he would go deep.
0-2 the count on Ludwig.
So he's like Babe Ruth, huh?
Sort of, except I made the promise. And he just nodded politely like, I have to leave now.
Al, any superstitions for you?
Well, I had my little ritual. You know, I had a routine that I did during the course of the game, but
and that's a called third strike.
You know, as a closer, you know, you can go down. You know, we used to watch Bob Gibson warm up. You know, when was the last time you saw the relievers go down and watch the starting pitcher warm up? But we would do that, and then I'd kind of sit there and, you know, half-heartedly watch the game for about the first 5 innings. But then after that, I really got into it, and by the 7th inning, just from experience, you could almost predict what scenario would be when you came in the game and who you were going to face, just by the history, the way the game was evolving, knowing how you know, your manager used you and how the other manager would have to work his bench.
Down the left field line, and that's a foul ball. Now, you would close sometimes multiple innings, meaning that you'd have to go back in the dugout and cross over the white lines. Did you hop over the white lines?
No.
Did you worry about it?
No, I don't think I stepped on it, but I didn't jump over it or anything like that.
Turk Wendell. Remember Turk Wendell?
Turk Wendell, and he would do that little hop over it. If he was standing erect on the mound, the catcher had to squat. If he squatted on the mound, the catcher would have to stand up. I mean, chew licorice on the mound and then come in and brush his teeth in between innings.
That's right.
It was all good until his first major league debut against the Cardinals. He got rocked in the first inning, and people go, I think you better learn how to pitch first. Worry about that other stuff later.
2-2 on Holiday.
Were you as intense in the bullpen as you were on the mound, or did it take time to morph into that?
Yes. I was not, because I would have worn myself out. But don't mess with my glove. That was the only rule I had. Is, you know, some of the silly things that goes out there. You know the hot foots. Don't mess with my equipment. Don't do anything that way. Don't put dirt in my glove. And you know.
But you embraced a hot foot.
No. I mean, that would have been war. What we mean by hot foot is sometimes a guy would. It's more on the bench, because you could kind of sneak around in different stadiums, sneak behind, and you'd take a little bit of, you know, gum, and then you'd put whether it was a cigarette butt or matchstick, or even a firecracker, and attach it to a guy's shoe and then light it. Real funny.
Holiday strikes out, and that's 2 in the game, 2 in the inning for Medlin. Martin Prado leads it off here in the fourth. Gorgeous afternoon here in St. Louis at Busch Stadium. Day baseball. Cardinals looking for a sweep. David Freese with a 3-run homer down the right field line and off the foul pole. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Little hiccup last inning for Wainwright. Did strike out 2. He walked a man and gave up a base hit. The starting rotation of the Cardinals has just been remarkable here in the first month.
Wainwright's allowed 2 hits, but keep that trend. If you give up a hit, it's a single. Walk very few and keep the ball in the ballpark.
And it's a leadoff walk. So 2 today. Baseball this afternoon is brought to you by Kia Motors. To learn more, visit kia.com. And right now, Jack in the Box is offering a variety of menu items and letting people choose any 3 for only $3 plus tax. Here's Brian McCann. Struck out swinging, first time up. And the first pitch is a strike.
And didn't quite like that pitch that was called a strike. It looked like it was outside.
Little chopper backing up Mather, steps on the bag. And safe at second is Martin Prado.
Even with a good throw, I think Prado was going to be safe there. Had a pretty good lead over at first base, and the high throw, because you had to tag him.
After he stepped on the bag, the tag then was in play. Visit the official online shop of the Cardinals at Cardinals.com. Browse the largest selection of official gear, including apparel and memorabilia. Something for the entire family. Get your gear from the official source, Cardinals.com. Eric Hinsky, the hitter. Off-speed pitch for a strike. Hinsky flied out to right first time up. Just joining us, Pujols with the afternoon off. Nothing wrong with him, just needed an afternoon. So Joe Mather gets the start over at first base. No balls and 2 strikes. Wainwright had an 8-0 April winning streak, dating back to 2008, snapped in his last start against San Francisco. At the time, the longest streak among any active player. 0-2 pitch. This would be his 19th start today against the National League East. And he's 12-3. An ERA that's under 3 against the East. And very good against his former organization. Wainwright wanted that as he looks back into the home plate umpire. 2-2.
Dale Scott, the crew chief, back there behind the plate, and he's got everyone guessing a little bit with what the strike zone is.
Two. Eric Hinsky was a former Rookie of the Year in the American League back in 2002. On the inside corner. The strikeout of Hinsky. That was the pitch before that Wainwright wanted and didn't get. He gets it there, and that's 4 today. Exmo presented by Plaza Tire Service.
He just ran that ball right in on the hands. Hinsky, he thinks it's inside. He's jumping out of the way, and look at the ball just tail right the last second, right back into the corner, and for a strike. It's 4 strikeout.
Good breaking ball for strike one.
He's got those knees buckling, doesn't he, on the breaking ball? Fonte making his first start of the first appearance of the series. He missed about 2 months and a half with a broken hand last year.
If you're wondering, Jason Jennings back in 2002 was the National League Rookie of the Year. Andrew Bailey of Oakland won it last year. Chris Coughlin of Florida in the National League. You look on that list, some of the names, it does not guarantee future success. 2 outs, runner at second. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Line drive into right. This is trouble. Ludwig won't get there. Base hit. Infante on his way to second base, and the Braves get on the board. It's 3-1. 0-2 mistake there by Wainwright.
All 0-2 pitches that are base hits are mistakes, but that one was up and away when you're when up in the zone when you're ahead in the count. Sometimes a guy will flare or quail it or something like that, but Wainwright knows he made a mistake right there and he got burned by it.
There's Jason Hayward, who homered in his first ever at bat in the major leagues. Opening day at Turner Field. Wound up being a 3-run homer. He caught the ceremonial first pitch that day from Hank Aaron. He said it was a thrill of a lifetime.
Well, he got a base hit his first time up. That's his first hit of the series. He's now 1 for 8.
You have a situation, you homer in your first at bat, expectations so high anyway. Just kind of adds to it, doesn't it? The pressure that's put on this young man.
Yeah, he entered this season as the #1 overall prospect by Baseball America, MLB.com, and ESPN.com. So
Hayward pops it up. Tyler Green, the shortstop, making the catch. 3-1. Cardinals on top. National League players to hit a home run in their first at bat. How many of them were Cardinals or Braves? I mentioned that Hayward did it, and Adam Wainwright, Mark Worrell, Jordan Schaefer, highly touted prospect for Atlanta, who's in their minor league system, and Jason Hayward. Forgot about Mark Worrell.
Yeah, Cardinal pitcher
with the San Diego Padres.
Now with San Diego. But he part of the Khalil Green trade.
Correct.
Is that in Philadelphia?
And Morel had arm issues. Got hurt. 0-1 pitch. It was a year ago. He missed last season. 1 ball, 1 strike. Colby Rasmus in the cleanup spot. Singleton scored the first.
Very vocal about after the trade that he really wasn't given a shot. Well, he wasn't going to make the team here. So that's why it was really a lopsided trade. And then, unfortunately, problems that Khalil Green had that really none of us saw coming.
2 balls and a strike. Khalil signed a minor league deal this offseason with Texas. And those problems that he had with the Cardinals and at the end of his career in San Diego popped up again, and he was released. Really kind of a sad story when you think about that with Khalil.
Yeah,
very talented guy.
Well, I mean, he never even reported. He acknowledged before that he couldn't even report to spring training. Dave McKay was another one of those guys that hit a home run in his first major league at bat.
3-2, the count on Colby Rasmus. Dave, a former third baseman. And a leadoff walk. So Wainwright and Hayward, as we flash back, their first major league at bats. A rocket off of Carlos Zambrano back on the 5th of April. Adam Wainwright, this was in San Francisco against Noah Lowry. What a year 2006 would be for Adam. Closing out every level of the postseason.
And there's a Hall of Famer that hit a home run in his first major league at bat and never hit another one. Look that one up.
How about Hoyt Wilhelm?
Very good. A little help from the truck.
None.
Oh,
it was all over it, Al.
I heard it. They pushed the wrong button, and I heard him tell you. Can't lie to me, Dan.
Any other awe-inspiring trivia you want to bring up?
If I'm not mistaken, and I'm sure the truck will help you this, I think the man that hit a home run in his first major league at bat, but went on to have the most home runs, I think is Gary Gaetti.
One ball, no strikes. David Freese with his first home run of the year. Earlier in this ball game. David's first home run of his major league career came last year in Cincinnati. Where's home run McDonald?
He hit home runs his first 2, right?
That's right.
First 2 major league at bats. That's something.
Two balls and a strike. And that's a base hit into right field. Rasmus around second. He'll stop there. Talk a lot about Hayward's offense. They say his defense and his arm is very good.
Here's the ball up. Good piece of hitting in the opposite field. Shoots it through the right side. Rasmus thought about going to third, but you saw Hayward come up with his throw, and a strong throw there. He made the wise decision to stay at second.
It's twice now David Freese has gone to the right side.
They say that he has good power to right center, so he should take advantage of that and hit more balls out there to the center and right center.
Here's Yadier Molina. Jumbotron here. He's got a nice shirt he's wearing in conjunction with Apple Vacations.
The camera can't stay still with the wind.
Runners at first and second. Nobody out. Here comes an 0-1 pitch. Cardinals leading 3-1. That's a base hit. Left field. Colby being waved in. He will score. 4-1 Cardinals. Molina now with 14 driven in.
His career high for a month is 15. For a couple more days this month. Hopefully he can eclipse that. Hits it through in the left side. Cabrera playing very deep out in left field, so there's no question that Rasmus was going to score.
They will, it looks like, get some activity started. The bullpen for Atlanta. Roger McDowell out to visit. I'll remind folks it's a busy weekend here at the ballpark. Sluggy night tomorrow night. Canvas print on Saturday. And the Albert Pujols bat giveaway, that'll be on Sunday. And tomorrow night is a half price night as well. Also, get here early, Ford Plaza. And out there will be a Bush Bash Friday, and that means Tom Pagnazzi signing autographs for an hour.
All Bobby Cox needs is what's happened here today, where his starter goes 1 inning, comes out with a hamstring injury. That got a little piece of Wainwright, didn't it? I would move that that on deck circle as we remember the Encarnacion.
It was off the bat of Aaron Miles.
Yeah, but I mean, just you're still in the line of fire when you're that angle.
Remember, after the injury to Encarnacion, which ended his career, they put up that netting behind Wainwright. It didn't initially go that far and extend to the Cardinals dugout or the Braves dugout. And wisely it was put up. First and second, 0-1 pitch.
I was going to say, but the Atlanta Braves, they don't have an off day tomorrow. They go on to Houston, play through the weekend. So Cox is hoping his bullpen, Medlin was good for the first 2 innings. Now has struggled here in his 3rd inning of work. They go home, but the point is they don't have an off day. They have 3 more games before their next off day. So they could have a very depleted bullpen when they get home.
1 ball, 1 strike. Runners at first and second. Still nobody out. Loss today would also give the Braves their first winless road trip, 6 or more games since 1980. 2-1 pitch. Double play ball. So Mather retired with a double play. Freese advances to 3rd. Sign up now for the Fox Sports Midwest Home and Race for the Cure team. Blues players, broadcaster John Kelly will join team members at Scott Trade Center for pre-race festivities Saturday, June 12th. For info and to join the Blues on this great endeavor, visit foxsportsmidwest.com. Wainwright grounded out to short first time up. Two outs, runner at 3rd. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Ball scoots away, and not far enough for Freese to advance to the plate. Probably didn't see it as it went away, and if it was going to be a situation where he ran, he had to go early.
Right, exactly right. And if you don't see it, can't really assume that it's far enough away.
Here's a 1-1. Good rip.
Do have the pitcher up, but I think we all have confidence in Wainwright to help his own cause. And if he does get tagged out there, then you got Wainwright, the pitcher, leading off the next inning. So I think he did the right thing staying at third.
1 ball and 2 strikes on Wainwright. Seeing Wainwright show some pop, especially to left field. They're pretty shallow out there. Here's a 2-2. And Cabrera makes the catch. Adam is 0 for 2. Gorgeous day here in St. Louis. Stan the Man plays in his 1,000th game at first base, making him the first to reach that milestone at 2 different positions. Great Stan the Man. Back in 1960, or this date in baseball history. And don't you love seeing this old video here, Al?
I sure do. And that was what the Cardinals realized, that one of Bobby Cox's favorite all-time players and personalities was Stan the Man. So Stan was kind enough to personally autograph a nice picture to Bobby Cox. The Cardinals gave that to him, and you could have your own piece of Stan Musial memorabilia. Stan the Man Inc. 314-365-3000. We both have numerous pieces of that memorabilia and cherish it.
There's Nate McLouth. Dick Sitzman has been with Stan for a number of years at Stan the Man Inc. And you always see a young man when Stan is at the ballpark with him. That's his grandson.
Yeah, grandson Brian.
0-2 pitch. In the air to left field. Holiday. Little class move by the Cardinals to honor Bobby Cox before the ball game last night. Red Shandy spilled the wit. Tony La Russa there, and the signed picture from Stan the Man. And on the pregame show, Mike Shannon had him on, and they talked a great deal about Stan the Man and what he means to Bobby Cox. Bobby was talking about being in the minor leagues and the stories relayed to him about Stan Musial. One 1-0, 1 out.
And Brooks Conrad is the hitter.
Conrad appeared early in the series and was 1-for-1, and then stayed at the game, played second base.
In the air out to right. Ludwig is back and makes the catch on the track in front of the wall. Major League Baseball and People Magazine teaming up to find all-stars among us in the St. Louis community. And you can nominate one special person at peopleallstars.com now through May 14th. The winner will take part in the All-Star Game festivities in L.A. All-stars among us. So Medlin, his afternoon is through, gives up a run. Starter today, Jurgens, goes an inning, gives up 2 hits, 3 runs. All coming on a David Freese home run. Jesse Chavez getting loose in the pen, a right-hander for Atlanta. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's slapped the other way, but foul. Straight away, just about, maybe just a step or 2 into left. That's about as straight away as you get. One and 2. Melky Cabrera, the former Yankee, flied to left and also walked.
Season high 6-game hitting streak. 0 for 1 and a walk today, but
shallow center. Colby's got it. The greatest of them all, Stan the Man. 4-1 Cardinals. Lager. It will be the Cardinals and Reds tomorrow at 6:30 right here on Fox Sports Midwest. 6:30 tomorrow. And Brad Penny, Johnny Cueto. Just a gorgeous afternoon. Glad you're with us here on Fox Sports. I wonder what the lineup may look like tomorrow for Tony La Russa. Would he bring back Molina to work with Penny, or could we see a start from LaRue? Little check swing into right. Hayward the catch.
I think we're going to see LaRue and Penny work together. As Chevy called the bullpen is Jesse Chavez, who led all Major League rookies in appearance last year. It was his first full season in Major Leagues. He was with Pittsburgh, and he's off to a very good start here. He had 5 consecutive scoreless outings before he gave up a run.
Originally drafted by the Cubs, 2001, did not sign. Then it was the Rangers, acquired by Pittsburgh, exchanged for Kip Wells, 2006. Opposite field, off the bat is Schumacher. Cabrera there, 2 outs. Take a look at the swing of Skip Schumacher, Plaza Tire Service, Exmo Camp.
Kind of getting underneath a few pitches, and you want more of the line drive swing from Schumacher.
He's 0 for 3. Ludwig is 0 for 2. Fly to left and struck out. Called out on strikes back in the 3rd. 2 outs and nobody on. Chavez's Major League debut in 2008 with the Pirates, last year with Pittsburgh. Base hit by Ludwig. So a 2-out base hit. In steps Holiday. Plaza Tire, Exmo Camp.
Really nice time by Ludwig being a low ball hitter. You see him back, get his weight back, loading up on the backside, and then starts coming through. But still, almost like 60% body weight on the back, 40% in the front. Have that little weight shift come forward. Low ball hitter, got a breaking ball, and he's hitting about 400 at home.
Conversely, Holiday, a little different story. Average at 272, 4 homers, 8 RBIs.
Did we tell you he's batting 353 on the road? Tells you how poorly he's batting at home, which is really strange. Former batting champion. And
it's still up there.
Yeah, still up there.
That's his batting practice ball from last night in the sea at Big Mac Land. He's 0 for 1 today. He's been hit by a pitch, so 0 for his last 10 and 1 for 11 in the series. Signed the largest contract in Cardinals franchise history this past offseason. And expectations certainly are high. No doubt about that. 2-0 pitch. Holiday. Hayward won't get it. And the Braves catch a break. It'll be a ground rule double, and Ludwig will have to stop at 3rd. So a double for Holiday. And brings in Colby Rasmus.
Holiday, you know, when you're struggling a little bit, you got to think about taking up the middle in the opposite field. There's a ball actually right in the middle, down in the zone, and so good piece of hitting. There's your bad luck as it hops over the wall into the bullpen for a ground rule double, and that keeps Ludwig from scoring. And now they're going to intentionally pass Kobe, his second walk of the day, and
that's now 8 intentional walks issued by Bobby Cox in this series. 8.
Well, I think Bobby just saying, look, my team's not scoring. I have to take every opportunity I can to maximize my pitching matchups. And as we said last night, four times they intentionally walked. 2 times it worked for the Braves. 2 times it worked for the Cardinals.
It's 17 walks for Colby this year. 3 have been intentional. There's 17 walks, most on the club. Make sure to visit Busch Stadium prior to every Friday home game in the Busch Bash Ford Plaza. Live music, player appearances throughout the season. Tomorrow will feature Tom Pagnazzi. For details and future appearances, visit Cardinals.com/promotions.
17 walks. this year already for Colby. He had 36 all last year. And you see back in the first inning, right on the foul pole, a 3-run home run, his first of the year. And David Freese came through one of those times last night.
Freese, right field line again, and out of play. David is 2 for 2. And Wainwright is hoping for a big 2-out base hit here. It's good to see Colby get that first base hit off a lefty last night, too.
Sure, an RBI, and see Freese, have erase that 0 underneath the home run column.
0-1 pitch. Up and in, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Dan, you always, if you're a starting pitcher, you always like to have a lead. But really your mindset is, I've already got the lead, and I've got enough. I want to get back out there. But you welcome the extra padding.
Boy, do you ever.
But, you still have to have that mindset that, okay, I want to keep it a close game to where I don't want to have any breathing room, to where I can mentally relax too much. It's 10-0. Or how about pitching the other day, that 20-0 game? Milwaukee versus the Pirates. You still have to think you're in a 1-0 game.
Good pitch. Doesn't get the call. 2-2. Seen Freese go to right twice today with that single and 3-run homer. The other RBI was from Yadier Molina. 4-1 Cardinals as we play here with 2 outs and the bases loaded in the 5th. David Freese. Well hit. Right field. Off the wall. 2 runs in. Here comes another. He clears him. What a day for David Freese. 6 RBIs.
3 for 3, 6 RBIs. And he's got a chance for a couple more bats. Well, they're really doing him a favor. He has that good power of the opposite field. They're always going to pitch you away, so it goes right into his strength. He missed another home run by about 3 feet, but he'll take the 3 RBI double.
He's now tied with Molina with 14 RBIs on the year. Here's Yadi and another chance. So David Freese have a day as he's gone to right field every time.
Like I said, that's his strength. He hits the ball so well in the opposite field. And as Mark McGuire and I were talking today, he said ever since he came into the National League, it's always been the trademark of pitchers from Atlanta to pitch away.
Team leader in RBIs, Pujols with 19. And now it's Molina and Freese second with 14. Here's the 0-2. 2 outs, 7-1. All Cardinals in this series. Guides it to right. Hayward can't come up with it. 8-1 Cardinals. Molina's taking 2, and he's in there at second base. All this coming now with 2 outs. Great effort by Hayward, but couldn't finish the play. Molina winds up at second. Freese scores. And in a day when Albert Pujols is on the bench, the Cardinals have 8 runs in 5 innings.
Another pitch away, and good effort to go out that way, off the glove. And as you said, Chavez got the first 2 outs pretty quick, but the third one has been really a struggle.
Joe Mather is 0 for 2 with 2 outs now.
Defense almost stays the same on every right-handed batter. The outfield plays him to hit to the opposite field, and they pitch you that way. See the gap out in left center. Cabrera, the left fielder, well off the line, and then you see center and right field kind of tighten up a little bit, bunch out that way.
1-2. Molina with 15 RBIs now to jump ahead of Freese. 2 on the day. David Freese with 6.
5 RBIs for Molina on the series. Or
2-2 on Mathers. Playing for Pujols. 2-2. Liner that's caught. Big inning for the Cardinals. 3 in the first, 1 in the fourth, 4 more here in the fifth. 8-1. Casino and Lumiere Place Casino and Hotels is giving away $250,000 home plus 18-room makeovers now through July 2nd. Visit rivercity.com for details. And by AT&T, find out what's possible with the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, rethink possible. Great Jack Buck, his statue outside Busch Stadium. Top of the sixth, and it's 8-1. Escobar, a liner into center. So leadoff base hit for the second place man in their lineup. He's got 2 hits. What is going through Bobby Cox's mind right now? His team is really struggling. Down 8-1. The verge of being swept out of St. Louis in a 4-game set.
Now you just concentrate where he knew at the beginning of the season he was in first place. Now they've had this tailspin. They find themselves in the bottom, but still early. Plenty of time to catch any ball club.
Martin Prado. Cardinals have turned a double play, and that was off the bat of Prado. 1-6-3.
He's definitely thinking about getting home.
Big gap left center. Base hit to right. First 2 have reached here in the 6th. It's very early, but just taking a look at this first month. Penny, who goes tomorrow. Jaime Garcia, 1.04. And then Adam Wainwright, 1.70 in ERA. Penny is under a run. And Wainwright, of course, going today, but Penny going tomorrow. And he looks like a different pitcher. And watching him under the guidance of Dave Duncan and what has happened this year.
Yeah, I mean, Wainwright, that is his current ERA updated. And Brad Penny, once again, he looks like a real pitcher. Jaime Garcia, he's a rookie. You just can't say nothing but, what a tremendous start and a shot in the arm to this ball club. Penny, those two additions are just phenomenal. And you like to think that Kyle Loesch maybe figured out something in the last couple innings of his start. We'll find out over the weekend.
1-1 pitch. Why don't you tell the folks at home that are unsure as to what you were talking about the other night or maybe missed it with Kyle Loesch?
Well, Kyle Loesch, in the last two innings, reverted back to his 2008 form. And he started lifting the ball in his windup over his head. That's what he did in his career year of 2008. But then last year, because of the forearm issues, the problems he had with that, he had to change his pitching motion to take pressure off that forearm. So he started holding the hands much higher. And I asked him a question. I said, well, why didn't you go back now that you're healthy? Why don't you go back to your 2008 form at the beginning of this year? And he said, well, I felt too good the other way. But he realizes now he's not making the same pitches, not getting the location he wants. So he reverted back late in that game, and he had, he faced like the last 7 in a row. He retired all 7.
2-2 on Brian McCann. Clearly was unhappy with that strike call to make it 2-2. Taps it out in front of the plate. Molina will go to first. Runners advance to second and third. In steps Eric Hinske. Hinske is flied out to right and also struck out in the fourth. 4 strikeouts for Wainwright. He has walked 2, and he's allowed 5 base hits and just 1 run.
Hinske wasn't happy with his strikeout call.
No, he wasn't. Outfield is straight away for Hinske. Runners at second and third. Matchups for this weekend with Cincinnati in town tomorrow night on Fox Sports Midwest, as well as Saturday afternoon, 12:10 start. Penny and Johnny Cueto, Kyle Loesch and Homer Bailey, Chris Carpenter against Aaron Harang. We head to Philadelphia and then Pittsburgh next road trip. A 2-0 pitch. Base hit right center. And 2 runs will score. That cuts into the lead. It's now 8-3. So Hinske picks up RBI 7 and 8. And it makes it an 8-3 game here in the 6th.
Well, the ball's down, but left-handers like it down there. And got that extension on it. Hit it back through the middle, and this game is far from being over.
Omar Infante has an RBI double. That was in the 4th to score Martin Prado. Wainwright could use a double play here. Pitch number 74 on its way. Trying to bunt. And Molina cannot come up with it. The crowd applauds his effort. Gold Glover last year. Wainwright, Gold Glover as well.
Showing bunt, dropped the bat head, so it pops it up in the air, and Yachty giving a great effort. Well, he'll work hard with these pitchers. Interesting. Tony La Russa told us that, he thought about giving LaRue one of the starts this series, but Molina went to him and said, I want to play all the games against the Braves. That catch you a little surprising?
A little bit, just because, when you think about the workload that he's had.
Well, no, that's what I mean. We always know that he's a good soldier, and you love that he wants to play, but
I think a lot of it has to do with Wainwright being on the mound. Double play. 5-4-3. Wainwright gives up a couple of runs, and it cuts into the lead. It's 8-3. Who is the next manager in line for the Hall of Fame? Our U.S. Cellular text poll. Text Hall A, B, or C to 432-432. And as we suspected, Al, we thought it might be Terry Francona. And out of those three, he gets 57% of the votes. We appreciate all the votes. And that's brought to you by U.S. Cellular.
Well, as the warm-up tosses were made, there's pretty animated discussion between Brian McCann and our home plate umpire. And I think eventually the veteran and crew chief Dale Scott just said, hey, enough's enough. You want to stay in this game, just shut up. Not saying Brian didn't have justification. And it looks like Wainwright's through as John Jay will pinch hit.
Yeah, it makes sense, Al, doesn't it? I mean, early in the season, and Wainwright has gone deep his last couple of starts, and he'll do so time and again. So with a 5-run lead heading into the 7th at least, Tony La Russa is going to give his bullpen the final 9 outs.
Yeah, you've got to trust your bullpen. You've got to get some work down there for him. John Jay 0 for 2. Started out the season with a 16-game hitting streak for Memphis.
Now, he does give Tony a little flexibility because he hits from this side of the plate. They also have talked about his speed. Speed of John Jay.
He was 7 for 7 steals this year.
And he strikes out. So he has struck out a couple of times. After the game, Cardinals Live is broadcasting from the Aqua Bar at Lumiere Place Casino. Watch player interviews. Tony La Russa plus Pat and Ricky break down the game. It's U.S. Cellular, Cardinals Live after the game here on Fox Sports Midwest. Here's Tyler Green with 1 out, nobody on. Green is grounded out to second. Also had a check swing that carried all the way out to right field for a line drive and caught by Hayward. 0 for 2 on the day. Starting at shortstop in place of Brendan Ryan. Shoot that one foul. Good day to give Brendan Ryan and Albert Pujols a day off. Cardinals with plenty of offense. 8 runs without Albert in there. And the defense of Brendan Ryan has been spectacular this year. The offense, not so much. He has struggled.
If you can have a game where Albert can have a total rest, and you're going down, you need 9 more outs to close this victory out for the Cardinals. They got a 5-run lead, and if Albert doesn't have to pinch hit, doesn't have to think anything but being a cheerleader, then you really do have a complete day off.
2-2 with 1 out. See the hot dog wrappers on the field and around the batter's box. Stays away from that pitch. Full count.
Ryan, pick it up. He started to pick up the wrapper, and then I'll leave it there.
3-2. Look at this. Deep left. And that ball is gone. Home run for Tyler Green.
He had 2 home runs at Memphis. He had 15 last year at Memphis. Tyler Green, we see him struggle an awful lot at the major league level, but that will give him a juice and bolts of confidence. As that pitch down and in. Talk about that pitch down and in. You just drop the bat head, and it makes your stroke so much quicker. You hit it to the short part of the field out there to the left, and it usually gets hit hard.
Plaza Tire Service with the Exmo cam, and it makes it 9-3 St. Louis. Skip today is 0 for 3. And Chavez has been knocked around here in this ballgame. Remember, it was supposed to be Jurgens to go deeper into this game. He lasted 1 inning. The starter for the Atlanta Braves. Left with an apparent hamstring injury. And if there is a bright spot to the injury, it's not his shoulder or his arm. It's a hamstring.
Boy, that could really...
The way guys drive off the mound, that could be something, not knowing the extent of it, but could be a problem.
Now, the good thing is, too, though, even if you can't do much with your lower half of your body, you could still sit in a chair and keep your arm flexible. But it's, I mean, for a reliever, it's real simple. He only has to pitch 1 inning. But for a starter to sit out a couple weeks and not really do anything with your legs, it takes weeks and weeks to get in shape. It only takes a couple to get out of shape.
Braves are trying to avoid their 9th straight loss today, and they trailed 9-3. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out on Skip Schumacher. It's an out of play.
And Bobby Cox is trying to figure out how to save his bullpen, too.
You're right. And a big story today, David Freese, the Cardinals' third baseman with 6 RBIs, Molina with a couple, and Tyler Green with the other. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Lifted in the air to left center. And McLeod has it for out number 2. Good start now for David Freese, getting that first home run today, but now 14 RBIs in the first month.
Now that's, we talk about it. I just think he's going to have a very, very solid season, because with this lineup, with the firepower you have, you're not asking him to do something that he's not capable of. You're really telling him to do a lot less, and so you're going to get more. Where Hayward on the other side, they're forcing him to become a real integral part of their offense. And, and that's an awful lot to any young player, but in Hayward's case, he's only 20 years of age.
0-2 on Ludwig. 78 pitches today for Adam Wainwright, and 50 of those were strikes. If the Cardinals hold on, Wainwright goes to 4-1. There's the 0-2. Holiday on deck. He is doubled today. Ludwig with a single last time up was driven in. Called on strikes in the third and flied out to left. 2-2.
Another quality start for a Cardinal starter. They lead the major leagues in that department. All pitch well. I mean, this is Wainwright will be the first one to tell you it's a so-so effort, but they've set the bar really high for themselves, and they expect to go at least 7 innings in a game, and they always expect. I think they'll tell you they expect to keep the opposition below 2.
His ERA is 2.13, updated from today. Keep rolling out this kind of starting pitching, you have a chance to win any night.
That's it. I mean, if you go to the ballpark and you look at, we got such and such starting. The way he's pitching, we got a chance to win today. That's a great feeling.
A strikeout of Ludwig. Green's home run, 398 feet. It makes it 9-3. This week on Fox Saturday Baseball, David Wright and the Mets take on Ryan Howard and the Phillies. It's a showdown between NL East rivals. Coverage on Fox begins at a special time, 2 p.m. Central, following This Week in Baseball, and that's at 1:30, and it's only here on Fox. Denny's Reyes will take over for the Cardinals. I was talking with Steve Zesch today, the publisher of Cardinals Magazine, and you see the Cardinals now 98 innings without allowing a home run at home, which ties the Major League record, 1972 White Sox. But Denny's will be featured in the next Cardinals Magazine, and they say his article is one of the most refreshing they've had in years.
Really?
Yeah, he said he's a colorful guy, and teammates really enjoy his company. He's fun out there in the bullpen, but he'll be featured, as well as Brad Penny. Penny will be the cover story. Here's a 1-1 pitch to Hayward. Out to right. And there's your home run.
Glad you got that in.
So that ends the streak. Number 5 on a 1-1 pitch.
He leads their ball club in home runs and RBIs. And he's hitting well under 200 against left-handed pitching. That is his second of his 5 home runs against a left-hander. Set up away, watch him miss location. So that ball is completely on the inner part of the plate, and it's up the zone. That ball is supposed to be hit. Denny's will tell you it's the first thing is error in location.
Here's Nate McLouth. Cuts a lead to 9-4. Up and in. Watch out. 2 balls, no strikes.
Diaz is on deck to pinch hit. Hawksworth is warming up for Tony.
The other day, Denny's came in, he got the first 2, and then he struggled with his control.
Which is very unusual for him, but sometimes you need to stay out there a little bit to throw a few more pitches.
And that's a low strike.
Low strike and on the outer half where you wanted to throw the ball to Hayward.
And a ground ball. Schumacher with it. Makes the play. First man retired for out number 1.
By the way, that was that first home run in what, 98 innings? 92 innings, but it was also only the 10th home run allowed by Cardinal pitching all season long, in the first at home. Hawksworth will be coming in.
So that'll be it for Denny's Reyes. Gives up the home run to Hayward. And the righty Hawksworth coming in.
The 10th by the Cardinal pitching. Reyes last season did not give up a home run to a left-hander, and the last home run he allowed to a left-handed batter was Curtis Granderson back in September 6 of 08 versus Detroit when he was with Minnesota. So the streak is stopped. Still have a 5-run lead, but Blake Hawksworth will take over his 7th game. Still has not allowed a run. 7 1/3 innings, 7 strikeouts. Opponents are hitting over 300 against him, but he's contained the damage. And say once again, you know, he's learning here at this level. Very little major league experience. When he keeps the ball down, he has great movement on his pitches.
Hawksworth, a 28th round selection out of East Lake High School back in 2001. He's from the Washington area, originally from Vancouver, British Columbia. One pitch, tricky hop for Schumacher, makes the play. Took a bad hop at the end there, but he stayed with it. 2 outs.
And he stays with it because he has good form. He squares up to the ball. His hands are down, so you can adjust to the ball coming up. You know, if the ball takes a hop, if he's squared right up to it, if it does miss his glove, it hits his body and drops to his feet, and he can pick it up. You play it to the side, and that ball probably goes through for a base hit.
Hawksworth was kind of off the radar for the Cardinals for a while, especially in 2004 and 05. He was injured. And then in 2006, back on the radar screen. So he went 11-4. ERA under 3 between Palm Beach and Springfield. 2007, he was with Memphis and made his major league debut just a year ago.
Well, his major league debut, he really got roughed up.
Gave up 4 runs.
4 runs, but after that, when he came back later in the season, he was very good down the stretch and ended up with the ERA at 2 and was 4-0.
Makes a good play here, and it's time to stretch at Busch Stadium. Day baseball, gorgeous afternoon. And the Cardinals leading 9-4. Elizabeth Gunter is today's merchandise winner, the Hyundai Long Drive Inning Sweepstakes. If the Cardinals hit a home run here in the 7th, Elizabeth qualifies for the Hyundai Sonata drawing in September. To register, visit St. Charles Hyundai or St. Louis area Hyundai dealer today. Doing more on defense, the Home Depot defensive play of the game. This bad hop to Skip, but he stayed with it. The Home Depot doing more on defense. Seen Moylan an awful lot. There's Tony La Russa and Dave Duncan thinking about the final 2 innings, how they want to play it. We're at the bottom of the 7th, and it's 9-4 Cardinals. Cardinals with 9 hits. Atlanta with 7. David Freese, big afternoon with 6 RBIs. Here's Holiday. Holiday with the ground rule double. He was hit by a pitch. He scored 2 runs. And that's a strike on the outside corner.
Allen's pitching in his 3rd game in this 4-game series.
Was noticed really during the had a breakout during the World Baseball Classic. Mid-90s fastball. Holiday off the glove of the first baseman, more than covering for the out. Hinsky stayed with it. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cardinals.
Perfect day for Kobe.
And it continues. 2 walks, 1 intentional. and 2 singles. You think about the 5th place hitter, David Freese. His day began with the home run, and then the bases clearing double with Molina then following. Freese scoring. Tyler Green also at the bottom half of the order. 9th place hitter and a solo home run. 1 out and a runner at first. And the first pitch is a strike. So Freese, Molina, and Green providing the offense with Pujols on the bench.
Even though Moylan is very tough on right-handers because of that drop-down submarine down-under approach, it still works to the advantage of a guy like Freese because he still wants to drive the ball the opposite field, so he'll hold that front shoulder in longer than others.
1 ball, 1 strike inside. Not to say the Cardinals would do this here, up by 5 runs and stealing a base, but what do you think the unwritten rule is in today's game, Al, when runners are not looking to steal and you're station to station with a big lead?
Well, that's what you're talking about. It's an unwritten rule. You already do have a 5-run lead, so a grand slam can't beat you, can't even tie you, and you are, I mean, a lot of clubs will feel like you've got to push until the 7th inning. But in today's baseball, we've seen big leads evaporate. I think you still have to push, but you don't take it to excessive. You don't embarrass the other club.
Walk to Freese. Let's take a look at our Hardy's prime cut of the game. David Freese with a home run opposite way off the foul pole and right. Circumstances can dictate that too.
Oh, absolutely.
Prior to the Humidor and Coors Field.
Yeah, and I did my first year back in sports time broadcasting. I ended up doing a game between the White Sox and the Texas Rangers. Tony was managing the White Sox, and he had a bunch of rabbits. Rudy Law was the guy that comes to mind, and Doug Rader, a very tough guy, was the manager of Texas, and he had a bunch of sluggers. I mean, they were just go up there, home run hitters. And Tony had the base runners. Well, Rudy Law, the White Sox had a big lead, and Rudy Law, especially back then, did one of those things where, okay, he shouldn't have stole a base. He did. And to the point where Rader and Tony were just jawing at each other. They met in between innings behind home plate, going, nose to nose. And Tony ended up having one of the best lines I ever heard. He told Rader, he said, if you tell your home run hitters to stop hitting home runs, I'll tell my base stealers to stop stealing bases. Because that was the only way Tony was going to get back into the game. But he realized his player did make not the proper baseball etiquette, but he's trying to defend his player in that situation.
1-2 on Molina.
And by the way, he would have gotten killed by Rader.
Moylan was very good a year ago. All those appearances for Bobby Cox. The way he throws, you wonder if that's why he's able to bounce back and have all those appearances.
Well, what you're talking about is because your natural arm movement is, below your waist. Your arm swing below your waist. It's an abnormal movement to lift your arm and throw a ball over your head. So it is much easier on your arm throwing the submarine style. Self-defense swing there, wasn't it?
Sure was.
It's down there, and the ball just takes off running in, and it was committed, and if he doesn't swing at it, probably hits him. Played with Ted Abernathy. And also I played with Quisenberry, but Kansas City, but Ted Abernathy, a submariner here in St. Louis at the end of his career. It's amazing what they could get the ball to do.
And Yachty now has worked the count even, 2-2.
One of the things a lot of people don't look for in a ball game, but one of the things that signals a victory is how many innings you can score in. If you can score in 4 innings a game, you've got a really high percentage you're going to win. And all the more if you score. The more you score frames you score in, the better your chance. Wow. Going right over Mather's head.
Another 2-2 pitch to Molina. Here it comes. How about this at bat he's put together?
Yep, it's very tough. You know, when you get that side armor going in and out, ball moving. When the Cardinals score first, come in, they're 8-1. When they score more than 3 runs, they're 12-2. Scoring in 3 runs or fewer, or 3 innings or fewer, 13-7. Scoring 4 innings or more, they're 1-0. Scored 4 innings today.
Runners go on 3-2, and Yachty shoots it foul. Things are going so poorly for the Braves. Even their AAA affiliate was no hit last night. Braves have already been no hit this year.
Well, they've been shut out already 5 times, including last night. But all Bobby Cox has to do is think about Houston. When we were playing Houston, you know, you wondered if they were 0-8 before they won that last game, and they've gone on since they left town to win 7 more.
Well, that's a good at bat by Molina. Let's go pitch by pitch in the at bat. Some of the defensive swings. He spoiled some pitches. This is brought to you by Chevrolet.
But watch how the breaking balls, fastballs, but watch how in and out Moreland throws it. Remember when he drops down there, a lot of times it looks like he's releasing it behind your back. So he's fouled off some real tough pitches. He's taking some borderline, he's swinging some to the outside, and there he finally. But sometimes as a pitcher, you almost feel like, okay, I won because he didn't score. I still got a chance to get a double play and get out of it. Even though I walked him, it was a moral victory because he didn't beat me.
And now it's Mather. Bases loaded, 1 out.
And you start out fresh for the next hitter, and hopefully you get that ground ball. That's what he's capable of.
Mather gets a ground ball here, pulled foul. Then he started with Holiday grounding out. Rasmus base hit, Freeze walked, and a walk to Molina. 0-2 on Mather, who's playing first base today.
Now McClellan is throwing.
Hawksworth on deck, so he'll hit for himself.
Now they do have McClellan up, so Tony can have that option. A lot of ways you could see him, go ahead and take his chances and let Hawksworth bat.
Slowly hit to short. Only play to go to first, and Mather is out. Hustling down the line. Gets the RBI.
First RBI, very close play, but they got it right. He was out at. Didn't hit it hard enough to get it 2. And
good call.
Good call. I mean, it's close. He was running hard. They do pick up the 10th run.
Colby with 4 runs scored today.
And Hawksworth will bat for himself.
Escobar, something's not right with him. That's the holdup right now.
He had like a groin. Told his pitcher to go ahead and pitch. It looks like he's, the quad, the groin.
And here is Hawksworth with runners at second and third. 10 hits for the Cardinals, 10 runs. Redbirds have only stranded 2. Something not right there with Escobar, who's due up first for the Braves in the 8th. That one caught McCann. Nothing going right now for Atlanta. He's played a good game defensively. He's been busy.
Yeah, he's pretty good all-around player. See, he's, it's like the adductor muscle or groin muscle. Trying to stretch it out.
One ball, one strike with 2 outs and 2 on. One and 2. And Hawksworth is down on strikes. And we played 7. Redbirds add to their lead. It's 10-4. And looking for a sweep. And the top of the 8th rolls in. This is before the game, and Jonathan Tesmer from St. Peter's, and this is part of his Make-A-Wish Day. He didn't realize that he was going to be able to throw out the first pitch, so he got here, they took him on the field, and had a chance to fulfill a dream, and that was throwing out the first pitch to John Jay. And it's a World Wish Day, marks the organization's 30th anniversary, and Make-A-Wish was founded back in April of 1980. And since that time, more than 193,000 wishes have been granted worldwide. And the Missouri chapter alone has granted over 4,100 since 1983. So congratulations to Make-A-Wish, one of the great organizations nationwide.
Pretty good arm. Troy Glass will pinch hit here. Escobar, I watched him as he tried to run off the field. He took a step and then stopped and walked off. It's be interesting to see who they replace him with in the top of the inning. Conrad has already pinch hit.
Troy is hitting just .203. We've seen him strike out a lot the last 3 games. And he hits it out of play. Another big crowd for afternoon baseball here at Busch Stadium. Cardinals looking to go to 15-7. Only one other team with more wins than the Cardinals. That's Tampa Bay. How about Tampa Bay? 16.
Won last night.
16-5.
They're in trouble because the mighty Royals are going to be their next opponent.
Schumacher with it. And out at first, Troy Glass.
What do you say? Leave Hawksworth in for a 3-inning save?
Absolutely.
I want that too. These kids have that shot.
Martin Prado. See Cincinnati this weekend. Reds just a game under 500 at 10-11. Start of play today. Fly ball into right. Ludwig is over and runs out of room. 1 ball, 1 strike. Prado grounded into a double play in the first. Walked and scored a run in the 4th. And a single and a run scored in the 6th. Here's a 1-1. Prado catching the jersey with his bat with all that kind are. Our guys don't miss anything, do they? Diving catch made by Joe Mather. Nice play over at first.
Makes you feel good. Maybe you're hitless on the night or the afternoon, but you've gotten an RBI, and now you've saved a ball going down in the corner with a nice line drive catch.
No Pujols today. Cardinals scored 10 runs, and Joe Mather comes up with a diving stop. There's Brian McCann.
What do you want to pay? Either $400,000 or Pujols $50 million. You haven't answered.
How about both?
Oh, okay. Well, I think that's really the thought for the Cardinals.
Bobby Cox saying, well, if Ryan Howard is worth 25, then Albert is worth 50.
And every owner in Major League Baseball cringed. Not that he's not worth the most. So can't deny that.
1-1 pitch. And a base hit. So Brian McCann, a 2-out hit. Brings in Hinsky. Cardinals camp out presented by Bass Pro Shops and Tracker Boats is back Friday, May 7th. Cardinals take on the Pirates. Come spend a night on the field and under the stars at Busch Stadium. For tickets, number to call is 345-9500 or cardinals.com/campout. Eric Hinsky with 2 outs and a runner at first. It's strike 1. Two-run single back in the 6th. The fly ball, right center. Colby over and makes the catch. Midway through 8, and the Redbirds lead it 10-4. Doesn't get much better than this, Al. We got a beautiful day, big crowd, and a 10-4 Cardinals lead.
Well, it sure is a nice day. These people that have come out on this spring day have sure enjoyed it. They're seeing their Cardinals extend their winning streak to 4 games. Not over yet, but all they need is 3 more outs. Looks like Hawksworth probably won't get the opportunity, as you're seeing Miller warm up.
Tyler Green is homer today. I want to remind folks, it'll be a busy weekend here at Busch Stadium. Dusty Baker, Scott Rowland, the Reds in town. Sluggy night tomorrow night, and also a half-price night. Half-price off tickets, select tickets. Then on Sunday, it's the Albert Pujols canvas print. And on, that's Saturday. Then on Sunday is the bat, Albert Pujols bat day.
I go into pitch. Ross stays in the game, play first base. Hinsky moves from first to third, and then Infante moves from third to shortstop. That's how they covered the Escobar injury. Two 0 for 4 after getting a couple hits last night.
1 strike.
Hit 300 the last 3 seasons. Last 2 playing every day at second base, and got those stirrups. He's put them on last night to see if it could change his luck. Did work for last night, but not so far today.
1-2 the count on the Cardinal leadoff man. Situation where not only do you give Albert the day off, but it's a full day off. Many times, you know, Tony will have him start on the bench, but then if there's an opportunity to use his bat, he'll come in and maybe in the 6th or 7th and stay in the game. But today, it's a full day off.
Even
ground ball is short and right through the wickets.
Fonte kind of laid back on the ball, let it play him. Instead of being aggressive and charging the ball, he lays back, and then you're at the mercy of what kind of hop. He thought it was going to bounce higher. It submarined on him and went right through his legs.
Remember, Omar Infante started this game and moved to short as Yanel Escobar seemed to be hurt. Play behind the runner at first base. That's Schumacher. One out, and here's Ludwig. Ludwig, a single, run scored in the 5th. Struck out twice, also flied out to left. Cardinals with 3 runs in the 1st, another in the 4th, 4 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th. 10 hits today. Strike 2. And a strikeout of Ludwig. Strikes out for the 3rd time, and here's Matt Holliday. Two outs, runner at first. Schumacher. Here is Holliday. First pitch up there, swinging away and fouled into the seats. Holliday hit by a pitch in the 1st, scored a run. Struck out in the 3rd. Ground rule double and a run scored in the 5th. And grounded out his last time up to first. $39,561 today. 39561. 1-1 pitch. Holliday, ground ball to 3rd. And we head to the 9th. Scoreless frame by Saito. It's 10-4 St. Louis.
we head to the ninth at Busch Stadium. Coming up after the game on the post-game edition of Cardinals Live, Pat Parris and Rick Horton are at Lumiere Place. They'll take a look at David Freese's historic afternoon. They'll compare Waino's curveball to Jaime Garcia's, and we'll have player reaction straight from the Cardinal clubhouse. It's all coming up after the game. For now, we go back to the booth, and Dan and Al, guys.
All right, Jim, thanks. Trevor Miller takes over, 10-4 St. Louis.
Dan, I was saying Hawksworth could qualify for a 3-inning save. I was incorrect because forgot Reyes had a third of an inning. So even if he completed this inning, it would be 2 2/3 and not eligible.
Some changes for the Cardinals as Molina takes over at first base, moves from catcher. Miller, as we mentioned before, is the pitcher. And Mather moves from first to left field. Your changes for the Cardinals. Omar Infante be the hitter for the Atlanta Braves. 10-10-0 for the Cardinals, 4-8-1 for Atlanta. Trevor had a key strikeout a couple of nights ago.
And a couple runners with freezing Hayward on a fastball.
Calling it a strained left abductor, the injury to the shortstop, Yanel Escobar.
It's not a fun injury. Abductor muscle runs from your knee up to your hip, groin area.
But strikeout the other night was of Hayward. And Hayward is on deck. He's had a 2-hit day. 3 balls, 1 strike. Hayward, that home run was in the 7th. Infante had an RBI double in the 4th. Also grounded into a double play and grounded out to second. That 3-1 pitch. Chopped to third. Freeze with it. Fires over to first for the out. So the Cardinals 2 outs away from picking up win number 15 and going to 15-7. Tremendous start. And also winning their 5th in a row. The flip side for Bobby Cox in Atlanta. They would drop to 8-14. And their 9th straight loss. Hayward looks at a strike.
The good thing about that at bat the other night is, and he starts him off with another fastball that he takes, is he struck out Hayward on the fastball. But we all know Miller's deadly strikeout pitch is the breaking ball. Looks like another fastball.
And Hayward looks like he's looking for that. 2 straight fastballs.
He's looking for the breaking ball, so now he's found himself guessing up there and guessing wrong. He's 0-2. Now he's at their mercy. Fastball in.
Oh, 2.
All 3 fastballs in have been away, but still can't center the ball, especially when you take the first 2. There comes the slider.
Out of play.
He was looking for it, like you said.
Give me your early impressions of Jason Hayward, even though he was pretty quiet in this series.
Well, I mean, you can tell he's an athlete, and he's going to be fine. I just think it's, I wish for his development that he had a better offensive team around him. There's going to be a slider, and he can waste it way outside.
Schumacher going out, calls for it. Former outfielder makes the catch.
But, I mean, he's put in such a pressure position because they're counting on him so much. You could have him bat at 2 or 8, it would be better for him.
Before it's all said and done, that may be the case. You never know. Our David Freese is our Budweiser player of the game. Fly ball center field. Rasmus makes the catch. And that's how we finish off a sweep. Rasmus, a diving catch in center. Budweiser player of the game, David Freese, with his 6 RBIs. Wainwright picks up his 4th win. Cardinals their 15th win. First 4-game sweep of the Braves since 1989. Good play by Colby.
And came in at the last second of momentum. Made him leave his feet when he made that catch. And a good win. The first sweep of the year, and it's a 4-gamer.
Post-game show coming up.